Today I'm going to be learning more about the Netherlands by watching 10 Dutch cultural shocks. So yeah, I've watched a couple of videos like this before, and yeah, I always learn new things about the Netherlands, about culture, lifestyle in the country. So interested to see these 10 things as a Dutch person. Tell me what you think about them, and yeah, let's watch this.
Hi, my name is Mafalda, and today I'm going to share with you the cultural shocks that I experienced when I moved from Portugal to the Netherlands. Before I proceed with talking about the cultural shocks, I want to make it clear it doesn't have to be necessarily something negative, just see it or just understand it as it is something different that I was used to. The first cultural shock that I experienced was how the Dutch greet each other. The first time that I experienced this was back in 2014 when I moved from Portugal to Maastricht, a city in the south of the Netherlands, and this was during my exchange program. So I arrived, I went to the house, and I was just about to meet the girl from who I would rent the bedroom. We've been exchanging text messages and we made some video calls, so I was a little bit familiar with her, but it was the first time that we were meeting each other in person. And she opens the door and I'm just about to greet her with 2 kisses on the cheeks. That's what we usually do in Portugal. And yes, I was making the movement to give the kiss on the cheek. She makes a step back and she extends her hand to do a handshake instead, and I saw the look in her face. She was thinking, what the hell are you doing? So I was very embarrassed with that moment. That was a very good wake-up call right in the first day that I arrived to the Netherlands. And in the Netherlands, even when they know each other a little bit, either they do a handshake or a hug. In Portugal, we always do when it is informal, we always do the 2 kisses in the cheeks. Even when we are meeting someone for the first time, a friend of a friend, for example, we do the 2 kisses on the cheeks. But here, only when you are very close to someone and very familiar to someone, and when it's a family member, then you give the 3 kisses. Then the second...
Okay, so yeah, that's interesting, I guess. Being from the UK, we're very similar to the Netherlands in that respect. It's always like a handshake, maybe a hug. And yeah, it's interesting how some other countries in Europe, like France, Spain, Italy, I think, Portugal, you do the kiss and how it just kind of cuts off. Maybe I'm not sure what happens in Germany. Netherlands seemingly doesn't do that as well. Or is that ever the case? Do you ever do that sort of kissing, greeting in Netherlands? Yeah, I wonder why that never really travelled so north, that custom. Yeah.
Cultural shock that I experienced was also in 2014. We were invited to an event that would start at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is usually the time that people have dinner in Portugal. So we immediately assumed some food will be served. So we did not have dinner, but as soon as we arrived to the event, we realized that no food was being served, only drinks. Everyone had already their dinners and now it's party time. And the only food that was available were peanuts at the bar. So the next time that we were invited to events, after the Dutch dinner time, which is around 6, we knew that we should have already had dinner. Another shock.
Yeah, again, that's very similar to the UK. We usually have dinner like about 5, 6, never really that late. And again, it is more of a Southern European thing, I believe. What about you? Do you ever have dinner that late? What do you think about it, having dinner at that time?
Also a little bit related with the daily time schedule that the Dutch have is that the restaurants close quite early. At 9:30 p.m. it's quite difficult to find restaurants that their kitchen is still open. I think maybe in the very touristic areas, especially in Amsterdam, you can find some restaurants open at these times, but that's not the usual. Not just the restaurants, but the same with the stores. So when you want to go shopping, the stores usually close around 6, which is quite challenging when you are working during the week. I think only on Thursdays the shops open until later. I think around 9 p.m. they are open. But yes, during the rest of the week, either you do shopping online or if you want to go to the stores, either have to wait until Thursdays or until the weekends. Another cultural.
Yeah, that one would be quite strange to me. I live in Malaysia. Here, all the malls, shops and things are always open to 10 p.m. So no matter when you finish work, You can generally go there and be able to buy anything you want. Every shop is open till then. Restaurants are similar. Even here they have these things called mamaks, which are like local Indian food places that are open pretty much 24/7. So I like that, being alive, being able to get anything you want any time of the day. How do you feel in the Netherlands? Do you like that? I guess it's good for the workers that they get that rest the same as everybody else. They're treated the same. What do you think about that? Do you ever wish that the shops and restaurants were open later in the Netherlands?
Shock was how the Dutch celebrate the New Year's.
Is it
I was
fireworks?
again in Maastricht in 2014. We were transitioning to 2015, and I was celebrating with two friends of mine. They were both Portuguese. In Portugal, it's only the firework of the municipality that is allowed. So we had no idea how the Dutch celebrated, or we had no idea that the Dutch celebrated in a different way than we do. So in the New Year's 2014 to 2015, we went to the bridge that crosses the River Maas in Maastricht, and we were expecting to see a very nice spectacular fireworks arranged by the municipality, but instead, suddenly everyone around us started lighting up fireworks. So apparently the municipality does not arrange the fireworks themselves. Every person is free to go to the supermarket to buy the fireworks, go to the street, and then light up the fireworks anywhere in the street. And you see
That must be
all
quite a
different
shock if you
types
don't
of
know.
people, drunk people, children, sometimes age 5, and maybe even less, with the fireworks. So we immediately started looking for coverage to protect ourselves from the fireworks, because we really felt that was a dangerous situation, a lot of room for severe accidents with the fireworks, and we did not feel secure in the streets. And even today I really don't like when the New Year's is approaching, because a lot of kids on the street start playing with fireworks, and of course it's not a controlled environment. So you hear every New Year's, you hear that there were some accidents with the fireworks. Another situation that the Dutch do completely different is that they cycle everywhere under any weather circumstance. I don't mind cycling if it is sunny or if it is not raining, basically, but even if it is pouring rain, the Dutch cycle everywhere. Sometimes they don't even have any protection for the rain, they just cycle in the rain like nothing is happening. And that's something that even today I still struggle a little bit to cycle in the rain, and I start thinking, okay, I'll just take the public transport, what usually the Dutch people don't do, they just go and cycle. Another shock was the food. You have very good snacks, like for example the bitterbollens, the stroopwafels, that every time I go to Portugal I bring stroopwafels to friends and family, they love it. They have the herring, also very good. And yes, and that's almost it. The cuisine that you find, it's a lot Italian, you have Asian cuisine, you have Mexican, you have from all over the world, but the Dutch is very, very basic. Another shock that I experienced was the lack of privacy that the Dutch homes have. So it is very common for the Dutch homes to have these huge windows that are just very close to the street where the people pass. And the Dutch people, they do not put curtains, or they do not put anything to close a little bit the windows or to give more privacy. So it's very common when you are walking on the street, you look to your side and you are looking directly into the Dutch home. So you see the kitchen, you see the living room, you see the bedroom sometimes, and you see the people just doing their own business inside of their houses. But it's very weird that you can see everything, and the Dutch people don't seem to mind the lack of privacy. They don't seem to mind that a lot of people are just passing through, looking to their homes. Even during at night, especially during at night when people light up the lights, then you can really see a lot inside of the houses. Another shock was the approach to healthcare, or more specifically, the visits to the doctor. Here you have like what could be called as a family doctor, so a general practitioner. You first go to this doctor. If you need a more specialized doctor to look into your health issue, then they will refer you to this more specialized doctor. The first time that I had contact with a doctor in the Netherlands was via a phone call. I called to the medical clinic and I had a doubt about a certain device that I should use, and I was seeking for an advice from a doctor that for sure had much more knowledge than I had. And yes, I looked online and everything, but I really wanted a doctor to help me make a choice. And the reaction of the doctor was, just Google it. I was shocked because I called, obviously, because I'm looking for medical advice, and it was the first time I ever heard a doctor saying just Google it. Usually, the doctors say don't Google it because you will find all different types of issues and it will amplify your anxiety or your worriness about the issue. Then I had other contacts, like I have a health problem, I'm calling to make an appointment, and in the reception they ask what is happening, I describe my issue, and then they just ask, okay, what do you want me to do? Yes, I would like to make an appointment with the doctor. So yes, it is a very different approach, and also to the type of care that they give you. Most of the times we'll just say, if you wait, this will pass. Just wait a couple of weeks and this will pass, so they don't prescribe any medication to you. And you will see a lot of the expats just complaining, saying, oh, they only prescribe paracetamol. It's the only medicine that they know. The other
That one I have seen a lot of foreigners speaking about is the service of the doctors, or just the health industry in Netherlands in general. Is it the same for Dutch people? Do Dutch people have similar thoughts? It does seem like the doctors and so on, the people who work there, are very direct, like it's going to mention here, the directness. Is that a good thing, a bad thing? I guess it kind of cuts out people wasting time going to the doctors when they don't really need to and stuff like that. But have you ever had a bad experience? Is your experience mostly positive? Tell me more about that
I experienced,
as a Dutch
and
person.
I think almost everyone mentions this, is the Dutch directness. I actually really like the Dutch directness. In Portugal, we tend to try to be people pleasers, even if we are thinking something just to please the other person and just to be very polite, we do not mention. And the Dutch, they just say what they are thinking. But I can understand that for some people and for some cultures, this directness can be perceived as unpolite. But I really think they should try to see from another perspective than just being offended or taking it personal. I really don't think that's the case, to take it personal, and actually should be thankful that you know exactly what the other person is feeling or thinking.
Agree.
Another different situation than I'm used to is the Dutch planning. So if you try to schedule coffee or try to schedule a dinner or something with a Dutch person, they will say, yes, I'm available, but only in 4 months or 3 months. And in the Netherlands, they have a very scheduled agenda, and it's very difficult to schedule last minute meetings with the Dutch people. It's a very organized way of living, and even myself, I think I'm only available in 2 months to do something. So I really like this approach that the Dutch have. And that was it for the video of today. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. So some of them I've heard before, but it's cool to see other people's another person's opinion and take on these different things. Again, as always, tell me how you feel about them as a Dutch person. Do you feel all of them are accurate? Do you suffer for like these things yourself or go through these things? Is there anything you disagree with on there? And yeah, keep recommending more videos about the Netherlands. I'm really enjoying learning about it, and yeah, I've got a lot more to come. Thanks.